Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Providence, where we love beyond belief. I'm Jane Knight, and I'm honored to be your worship associate today. Do I say anything else? This is the day we've been given. Let us make the most of it. Thank you.
Good morning. Before we do the time of greeting, I just want to explain the concept of today's service. This is a celebration of our music program, and it's based on a Broadway musical, Children of Eden. The composer is Stephen Schwartz. He wrote a little thing called Wicked, you might have heard of, Pippin, Godspell. He's a pretty good composer. And Children of Eden is my favorite of his and his favorite of his. but it's not performed very often, so I suspect that a lot of you have never heard of it. I hope that what you hear today will encourage you to go looking for the soundtrack, to put on your music collection and listen to it because the music is extraordinary. The show is based on the book of Genesis, with Act 1 telling the story of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and Act 2 deals with Noah and the flood and the ark. Major characters in the show include the father, who is the creator of the world, and Noah's wife and children. So we're going to present several songs from the play, and I'm hoping you will listen to the lyrics printed on an insert in your order of service, to learn the lessons that the songs offer and also enjoy the beauty of Stephen Schwartz's music. We're not doing a service about the play, but the music is helping us with the service. Now, this is our time of greeting. It's an opportunity for us to welcome each other, our good friends that we want to see because we haven't seen them since, I don't know, an hour ago. And also our new friends that we haven't met yet. That's what a stranger is, a friend we haven't met yet. So it's time for you to get up, use the whole room, say hello to everybody, let no one go unwelcomed. Okay, let's all turn around and look up in the balcony and wave to our friends who are at home watching. Hi, friends.
Good morning, everyone. Our worship associate Jane and I are going to light the chalice, our ritual tradition here at First U. You and I will say the words together while she lights the flame. They are in your order of service. This light burns also in our hearts, and it lights the way toward harmony, justice, and hope for all. And a musical invocation now.
would give to him a garden, and I'd keep it clear of snakes. But the one thing he most treasures is to make his own mistakes. Oh, he goes charging up the cliffs of life, a reckless mountaineer. I could help him not to stumble, I could warn him what to fear. I could shout until I'm breathless, but he'd still refuse to hear. Oh, but you cannot close the acorn once the oak begins to grow, and you cannot close your heart from what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love is the letting go. The sparrow that had fallen from its nest, and I nursed it back to health till it was stronger than the rest. But when I tried to hold it, then it pecked and scratched my chest till I let it go. And I watched it fly away from me with its bright and selfish song. And a part of me was cursing that I had helped it grow so strong. And I feared it might go hungry, and I feared it might go wrong. Oh, but I could not close the acorn once the oak began to grow, and I could not close my heart for what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love is the letting go. And it's only if Eden grows a rose without a thorn, and your children start to leave you on the day that they are born. They will leave you there to cheer for them, they will leave you there to mourn ever so. Like an ark on uncharted seas, their lives will be tossed. And the deeper is your love for them, the crueler is the cost. And just when they start to find themselves is when you fear they're lost. Oh, and you cannot close the acorn once the oak begins to grow, and you cannot close your heart to what it fears and needs to know, that the hardest part of love and the rarest part of love and the truest part of love is the letting go.
Isn't this a great service today? And you get to sing a hymn with a backing band. How often does that happen? Please rise as you're willing and able and turn to hymn number 207, Earth Was Given as a Garden. This is based on Children of Eden, after all. 207, Earth Was Given as a Garden. Robustly, I'm listening. For those of you who are longtime members and those of you who are visiting today, we share each Sunday a covenant that joins us in beloved community. You are not bound to say these words, but you are certainly invited to say them. We, the members of the First Unitarian Church of Providence, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the light we know by many names, and with gratitude for our deep connection to each other and to the larger web of existence, covenant to walk together in our search for truth, seeking the paths of wisdom, compassion, and justice.
This reading was written by Krista Tippett, who's an American journalist and author. She hosts the NPR program On Being, and she won the National Humanities Medal in 2014. This is an age of devastating tumult. It is an age of magnificent possibility. Much is breaking. Much is being born. The two go hand in hand, and that is one of the deepest and strangest, most terrible, and most redemptive truths of human reality. It is harder for us to train our eyes and imaginations on the beauty and creativity that are so alive in our world, the generative learning and stretching that are underway. These realities of our time are most visible close to home, in the worlds that we can see and touch. They are quiet. They do not trip the fear center of our brains, which inclines us to attend more seriously in every moment to what feels dangerous and destructive. And in our time, that narrative of danger and destruction comes to us 1,000 times, 1,000 ways each day. I want to be honest here. I am devastated and demoralized too by this moment's ravages, its shocking counterpoints of fragility and hubris. My heart breaks for the many human beings on the sharp edges of all that is breaking. And, not but, there is such a thing as deep time, too. The view of time of the geologist, as well as the mystic, the long arc of the moral universe that Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of. Deep time doesn't recognize the delineations we make in terms of years. It will see what is being seeded, what we tend across generations, what grows.
God, I am loving this day. We're going to turn our thoughts and prayers to the joys and sorrows that we bring together in communion and fellowship this morning. From Lisa, a concern for my husband's mother, Barbara Pam, who was admitted to the hospital last night. She calls me her daughter-in-law, and the feeling is mutual. From Lisa again, praying my cousin's new kidney responds to anti-rejection meds. We love you, Biagio. From Velma, happy 6th birthday to my youngest baby, Lincoln Nathaniel Mazza. From Maureen Johansson, a candle of condolence for my friend Martha, whose son James died in a car accident on Thursday, and a special sympathy for his new bride, Kate. We are heartbroken. Rest in peace, James. We will miss you. A candle of recovery and wellness for Michael Capelli, who had to undergo unexpected emergency surgery on Saturday. Cards and prayers are welcome. A candle of concern and sorrow from Joseph Reek, who is shocked to lose the head of his kidney transplant team, Dr. Rasha Aluna, who was deported back to Lebanon Saturday. A candle of strength and sympathy for Jill Mullen, who is losing her mother. For Jill's mom, Mary Margaret, may she fly swiftly and peacefully in angels' wings. From Tracy, I'm praying that minds will be opened and people will be willing to hear truth from those of us moved to listen and minister to those who are being misled. Give us strength to continue our mission. A sparkly rainbow unicorn candle of joy from Dana, as today is our 3rd annual Gotcha Day for our adopted daughter, now 9 years old. She completed our wild, path less traveled family. Congrats. And I offer one more candle for those joys and sorrows that we carry but remain unvoiced. Please take a deep breath with me. And again. One more. Today's meditation will no doubt be very familiar and fitting for today's service. A reminder, at the end of the meditation, we will have some shared silence for your reflection. If you've lost someone this year, please raise your hand or stand and we will share silent tribute and offer our love together. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson. What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. May we all succeed, friends. Amen.
This is really high up. I am not what I call artistic, not at all. I have never demonstrated any particular artistic talent, but I have always enjoyed making things if someone is there to show me what to do. My results range from fair to poor, but that has never stopped me from trying again. I remember when the UUA General Assembly was held here in Providence, and the theme of the conference had to do with food insecurity. They used an empty bowl as the icon of the event. Remember that? Every booth used bowls to represent feeding people. We here in the host city were encouraged before GA to make bowls and bring them to the convention center for decoration or to be put up for sale. A church member talked about making bowls out of Mod Podge. I had never heard of Mod Podge. And I asked her what she meant. She offered to come to my home and show me. On a lovely June afternoon, we sat in my backyard at a table. I had bought 10 plastic bowls from the dollar store. At her instruction, I tore up pages from magazines, newspapers, wrapping paper, solid construction paper, in different colors, into small, irregular shapes, and stuck them onto the bowls, overlapping and randomly, until the bowls were covered inside and out with a kind of paper mosaic. Then I Mod Podged the whole bowl and left them all to dry. I brought them to GA, and they were displayed with hundreds of others, most of which I thought were far more beautiful than mine, and I was so proud. When I was a newlywed in my early 20s, my first husband and I lived in his parents' house for about 6 weeks while he looked for a job. I had little to do to keep busy in a town that was new to me and without a job myself. So I asked my mother-in-law to show me how to crochet. I don't know where I got that idea, but I do remember that having tried knitting in high school, all you knitters take note, having tried knitting in high school and being frustrated by how long any project took, I was attracted to crocheting because it seemed to go faster. She willingly showed me after I bought some yarn, some crochet hooks, and a book of easy patterns. I took it up with a vengeance and crocheted Afghans for everyone I knew for many years. None of them were very good. I had a tendency to drop stitches and not know how to fix that, or to lose track of how many stitches I had already done in a row and kind of eyeballing the thing to decide whether to turn around. One or two of them were okay, and perhaps some of my gift recipients actually used the Afghans. I don't know. I absolutely loved doing it, though. I also tried my hand at composing music when I found myself in a 7-member a cappella group of women who were quite skilled and willing to try anything I brought them. It was terrifying to listen to the first run-through. Did it sound like I thought it would? Would they like it enough to include it in their permanent repertoire? To my delight, several of my original works and several choral arrangements of mine were successful. I even wrote a novel. I had no idea how to do that. But I had a wonderful time trying, and I got it self-published. Sometimes it's for sale in Irene's Book Nook. I reread it recently and decided it was only pretty good, when I used to think it was marvelous. But I am still so proud that I did it. I am writing 2 more books now, when I find time. I honestly don't care if almost no one reads what I write. But I have to say I love doing it. All of these activities are creative. I have made something new that no one has made before. When I first heard the music from Children of Eden, and I focused on the song called The Spark of Creation that Megan just sang for you so well, I recognized the impulse Eve is describing. Her desire to make something of her own was the reason she ate from the tree of knowledge, even when the Father had specifically forbidden her to do so. Why do I, like Eve, have the spark of creation? Why do any of us feel the desire to make something new, something that is only ours? Why does it not matter to me, at least not to me, that the thing I have made is not particularly good? Children of Eden is a play that is based on the first chapters of Genesis, describing how the Father created the world. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." God then separated the light from the darkness, creating day and night. Then God separated the land from the sea. Then God produced vegetation, stars, the sun and the moon. Next, God created creatures of the land, sky, and sea, and told them to be fruitful and multiply. And finally, God made man and woman in God's own image to rule over the creatures of the earth. And after all that creativity, God rested. Now, why did God say, "Let there be light"? Nowhere in Genesis do I see any explanation for God's creativity. Composer and lyricist Stephen Schwartz, in Children of Eden, explained the Father's inspiration as a dream. And I'm quoting lyrics now. "I woke up from a curious dream, woke full of energy and hunger. And now this hunger will be stilled and my emptiness be filled as I set about to build my dream." The Father goes on, "It's not enough, it's still not enough There was something more in my dream, something that could see it and share it. What was it, though? I only know I wasn't lonely anymore. There is one more thing to build, one more void that must be filled. I'll make creatures I call children, shaped like me. In my own image, from my likeness are they sprung. They will keep me company, they will keep me young. That's what it means to be a father. Well, I will be their teacher, and I will be their guide. And anything they'll ever need, I'll be there to provide. And in return, they'll love me, stay forever at my side. That's what it means to be a father. I suppose that God created the earth because God had the spark of creation. God felt empty and unfulfilled. God had a hunger to build something that would mark God's power in the world, something that would satisfy God's need to be seen and remembered. Isn't that why any of us make something? To be seen and remembered? And then there's the ultimate act of creation, having a baby. The majority of us decide to do that. Why? So they will love us and stay forever at our side? Have any of your children grown up to adulthood? Did they stay forever at your side? Did you really want them to? Did you realize that they had lives of their own to live, which would probably mean leaving your side and branching out into the world in some unforeseen direction? Do we recognize the naivete of the Father's lyrics? But let us acknowledge that for parents, and by that I know that parenthood is not conferred only in the true biological sense. There are many ways to be a parent. But let us acknowledge that for parents, the work we do from the moment we know a child is going to be a part of our lives until our lives are over is the work we know to be our most creative and offers us an opportunity to be really proud of the job we did. We definitely drop stitches, and our grammar and syntax may be weak at times, and sometimes the harmonies don't come out the way we heard them in our hearts. And sometimes our picture of a dog seems to look more like a giraffe. But we carry on, we keep trying, we enjoy the effort, and we brag about the results. James Baldwin, noted author, wrote, "You write in order to change the world, knowing perfectly well that you probably can't, but also knowing that literature is indispensable to the world. The world changes according to the way people see it. The world changes according to the way people see it. And if you alter, even by a millimeter, the way people look at reality, then you can change it." Mary Pfeiffer, writing about the act of writing, said, "Poetry can be a stone, a prayer, a kiss, or a gun. Poets write to create beauty, tell the truth, speak for those without voices, comfort the sorrowful, encourage the hopeless, call attention to that which is fragile, and encourage us to be mindful. We need poets in these dark times. You have the power to make a difference." We are creative, whether as writers, painters, cooks, gardeners, knitters, composers, photographers, sculptors, architects, Mod Podge bowl decorators, model builders, interior designers, whatever strikes our fancy. We are creative because we are human. It is our nature. Do we have to succeed at our chosen art form? Do we have to be better than our neighbor? Do we have to change the world in some profound way? No. We can be mediocre. A former UU minister of mine, Bob Shively, once said, "Anything worth doing is worth doing badly." Think about it. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly. He suggested that the fear of doing something that is less than perfect is what keeps us from even starting. If you and your grandchild have spent the afternoon coloring by number in a coloring book, and you tear your pages out of the book and put them on the refrigerator for all to see, and you laugh and talk while you color, you are being creative. And that child may very well grow up remembering that afternoon and how much they loved you that day. And no one cares how good the pictures were. If you and your best friend shared divisions of perennials one summer day, digging, separating shoots from older plants, carrying them to both of your gardens, and planting them in holes you dug, surrounding them with compost and water, and some of them die anyway, you are being creative. New plants are growing where none grew before. And memories were made that strengthened your already close relationship. If you decide to write short memories of things that happened to you in your life, and you print them out and put them in a 3-ring binder, and write "For my children" on the binder, and file it away, and no one reads any of them until after your death, you are being creative. And no one will criticize your grammar or spelling, but they will remember your thoughtfulness for taking the time to do it, and they will cherish the book. Singing is creative by nature. Sometimes one sings with others, which is also an act of cooperation and encouragement. Sometimes one sings alone. Sometimes others find it beautiful, sometimes definitely not. But it is always a creative means of communication. I had a voice student many years ago who came to me at age 27 to say that she had not sung a note since the 3rd grade when a classroom teacher asked her to mouth the words, "Dear, please." There's a few of you with that story. I've heard it too often. She didn't sing the national anthem at ball games. She didn't sing Christmas carols with her Christian friends or hymns at her Jewish temple services. She didn't sing happy birthday at parties. She didn't sing in the shower or in the car when she was alone. And the impressive thing was that she knew at the tender age of 27 that that wasn't healthy. She wanted me to help her get over it. Parenthetically, sometimes music teachers operate largely as therapists. Anyway, she couldn't sing a note back to me. Just stood there looking at me with terror, and no sound emerged. By the end of 30 minutes, she had matched one pitch successfully and was teary-eyed over her triumph. She came to lessons for a few months before she moved away, and in her last lesson, she sang a whole song from start to finish. Was it beautiful? Not even close. But it was recognizable. She was elated. She was as proud as anyone I ever taught. And I learned more about what matters in the world of creation than I ever taught her about singing. In my life, probably because of my mother's passion, I have pursued the study and enjoyment of musical theater more than any other art form. I have experienced joy, awe, laughter, anger, and inspiration from the many creations of writers, composers, choreographers, designers, and performers. I have also learned a great deal, not only about the art form, but the stories they have chosen to musicalize. I have learned most of the American history I know because of musicals. In Children of Eden, I learned or relearned about Genesis, in which God, in the first act, creates the world, and in particular the Garden of Eden and the first people, Adam and Eve. And in the second act, the story of Noah and his family, the ark and the flood. And this year, I stopped and considered the song, The Spark of Creation. I thought about creation and creativity. I thought about what is going on in our country right now, which seems to revolve around destruction and dismantling. Maybe I'm putting my head in the sand like an ostrich, but I think I will go back and listen to Children of Eden again and decide whether to make some homemade bread this afternoon. Amen.
We will prepare to sing our next hymn. I believe there will be some sort of insert in your order. Maybe no insert. Beth is going to teach it to you. That's what's happening. So here she is to do exactly that.
Thank you, Roger. So I could let you look at this song in a songbook, but I'm not going to let you. Super easy song, and you will sing it better if you're just looking at me. The choir knows what to do. This is what they call call and response, which is an African-American music tradition. And I am the caller, and you're the responder. And when you hear what the choir does, you will totally know what to do, okay? Just trust me. Over my head, there's singing in the air. Over my head, there's singing in the air. Over my head, there's singing in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Get it? Over my head, there's music in the air. Over my head, there's music in the air. Over my head, there's music in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Why don't you stand up? Over my head, I feel trouble in the air. Over my head, I feel trouble in the air. Over my head, there's trouble in the air. There must be a God somewhere. Over my head, there's praying in the air. Over my head, there's praying in the air. Over my head, there's praying in the air. There must be a God somewhere. One more verse. Over my head, there's beauty in the air. Over my head, there's beauty in the air. Over my head, there's beauty in the air. There must be a God somewhere.
Good job, all y'all. So this is the time for our invitations, a way for you to participate actively in our faith. In addition, no. Offertory before invitations. Did I get out of order? It was all that great singing, so it got me intoxicated. The offertory. This is your chance to get really creative with how you want to give this morning. Now, you heard Beth say, with creativity, we can change the way people see the world. And I promise you that the money you give this church has direct impact on the world we live in. And you do indeed make a difference. Be creative. The offering will now be gratefully received for all you give, for all you do, and for all you are. Thank you.
How many Unitarians does it take to fix a microphone?
Let's try this again. It's time for those invitations, the opportunity for you to participate in our faith between Sunday to Sunday. Spiritual Pathways program is hosting a potluck and game night next Saturday, March 22nd. Potluck and puzzles and games, oh my, is open to all ages and promises lots of fun. Bring your favorite dish to share and stay for hours of puzzles, games, and fun featuring a performance from our own Ukes. Sign up through the link that was in Friday's email or call the church office anytime. Speaking of time, this message is from Reverend Liz and myself. Changing the dreaded clocks each year, a topic of conversation for at least the whole past week, is often quite disruptive to our routines, to our lives, to our mental health. During the spring transition, when clocks jump forward, spring forward, and we lose an hour of sleep, our internal body clock doesn't necessarily readjust. Our circadian rhythms, which help regulate our essential functions, start to feel off. I'm sure you all have noticed. The thing is, this can impact anyone and does impact all of us, and it could present with any of the following struggles: brain fog, mood changes, weakened immune system, cardiovascular complications, increased anxiety and agitation, depression, and even thoughts of suicide. If any of this is any of you, myself and Liz implore, beg, would love for you to bring your thoughts and concerns and feelings to us. This is why we're here, to love you and care for you. So please, whatever you're feeling, come to see us anytime, even 3 in the morning, or it's really 4 or whatever. You get it. Next weekend, we have an exciting opportunity. We're really doing good musically this year. Next weekend, we have an exciting opportunity to hear the chamber choir of the University of California, Santa Barbara, as they present a concert right here in this meeting house at 1:30. Part of their So Much on My Soul tour, the program leads one to the transformative path toward healing and hope. We could use a little of that. The concert is free. This choir is amazing. They will also sing a piece of music here in worship in the morning to be the teaser for you to stay through to the afternoon, grab your coffee, and come back for the show. We will see you then. Thus endeth the invitation.
For the benediction, I'm going to quote Stephen Schwartz lyrics one more time. On this barren plot, we'll plant our wheat and dig our wells, and we'll be a family steady as a star. Look at what we've got, only what we've made ourselves. Though it's next to nothing, look how rich we are. Funny now how Eden doesn't seem so far. Come sit beside me in the dying light. What storms the morning brings, we'll weather all right. Your hand in my hand, and as we sit here huddled in the gloam, paradise seems strangely close, close to home.
Please join me in the words of our chalice extinguishing, also in your orders of service, while Jane extinguishes the chalice. We carry the flame, peace, love, and hope until we meet again. Namaste, friends.
over my